Hi folks, it's Mike Murphy. Today's tutorial is getting started with your first Astro web project. I am going to show you how to build a one-page website using the awesome and very popular web framework called Astro. What is Astro? It is a web framework, or it's software designed to build websites. You've heard of WordPress. That is another web framework. Astro is a web framework, and it is particularly good for websites that are content heavy. So if you're like me and you make a lot of tutorials, if you write a lot of articles or have blog posts, portfolios, etc., Astro is an awesome site for content creators and small businesses. And if you want to see a content heavy Astro website example live in the wild, well, you can check out my brand new website that I'm very proud of at mikemurphy.ai. One of the things that really sets Astro apart from other web frameworks and makes it a really good option for content-heavy websites is by default, Astro websites serve static HTML pages, making them load instantly. But don't take my word for it. You can see right on their website, which you can get to in a web browser by going to astro.build. You will see that Astro is the web framework for content-driven websites. And you can get started building an Astro website at any time for free with one simple command. The prerequisites are the requirements to get started using Astro. You need to have Node.js installed on your computer. You need an IDE or a text editor that you can work with code in. I will be using VS Code. We're going to be using the terminal inside of VS Code. And if you're building a website, well, you just want to gather the assets that you want to use on your website, like images, text, etc. Now, in this tutorial, I'm just going to be building the Astro website locally on my computer. But in a future tutorial, I'll show you how to take the Astro website that's local on your computer, push it to GitHub, and then deploy it or publish it to Cloudflare. Let's first check and make sure that you have Node.js installed on your computer. So on a Mac, open up Terminal. On Windows, open up Command Line. Type in node space -- version. Tap Return. If it prints a version number, that means that Node.js is installed. If nothing comes up here, if it says command not found, open a web browser, go to nodejs.org. Click on download, choose your operating system, download and install. And just open up the terminal again and just check to make sure that you see a version number. And you can also check and just make sure that you have npm, which is the installer. Just do npm -- version, tap return. That should also return a version number. And just as an FYI, your Node version must be 22.12 or later. The next thing we're going to do is create a project folder somewhere on your computer. Now, I'm just going to do it on my desktop for this tutorial's sake, but I would probably put it in the home folder on my Mac. So I'm going to right click, choose new folder, and I'm just going to call this folder Astro. Name it whatever you want. Next, I'm going to open up the Astro project folder in VS Code. To do that, I'm just going to simply drag it right onto the VS Code icon in my dock. And as you can see, this folder is completely empty. In VS Code, I'm going to open up the terminal. And you can do that from the top menu by going to Terminal, New Terminal, or the way that I typically do it is I go down to the very bottom, I click on this little triangle, that's a warning symbol, so you can see that opens up the problems. I come over here and click Terminal, and it's open up in the project directory, which is named Astro. The prep work is done. Now it's time to go to the Astro website and copy the command that's going to install Astro in our project folder. Open a browser, go to astro.build. And all we have to do is simply click to copy to our clipboard. Back in VS Code, I'm going to click in the terminal, paste Command V, that's npm create Astro at latest. I'll tap return. Now I'm just going to go through a little setup wizard, which I think is very visually pleasing to go through. So first it's asking me, where should we create your new project? what is the name of the folder that you want to put your Astro project in. And there's an example showing you how to type out the name of your new project. You start with a period or a dot. Now, if you watch my tutorials, you know that typically when you add a period or a dot before a folder or file, that means that it's hidden. Well, in this case, all that dot means is start in this directory. And then the / separates the two directories. And now you just give the name of the directory or the name of the folder that you want to create. Now I'm going to type out Murphy-Concierge. Murphy Concierge is the name of my freelance tech support business here in Naples, Florida. So I have this website, murphyconcierge.com. It's just a simple one-page website. It's currently on WordPress, and I want to move it to an Astro website. So I've got my project folder /Murphy-Concierge. I'm going to tap Return. How would you like to start your new project? So now you're just going to basically choose your starting point. You can start from a basic starter project. I am going to start from the minimal template. So I'm just going to use the up and down arrow keys. I'm following that little green dot. And when I get to the minimal empty template, I'm just going to tap Return. Install dependencies, yes. So make sure the green dot is next to yes and tap Return. Initialize a new Git repository. I'm going to say yes. We're not going to GitHub in this tutorial, but I'm going to initialize it, so I'll tap Return. And now the project is initializing. Dependencies are installing, Git is installed, and what's cool about the Astro command, it also initializes the Node project, so it creates that package.json file for you. It's pretty awesome. Liftoff confirmed, explore your project, and it's even got a rocket ship. I told you it was visually pleasing. It tells you to enter your project directory using cd and then the name of whatever it is that you named your directory or folder. If you forget the cd in, which you're probably going to do at some point, it's very easy to do, and you go to the next one, npm run dev, to start the development server so you can preview Astro. Well, if you just run npm run space dev without cding or changing directories in your project folder, you're going to get this scary error message. Don't worry, it's going to happen to you. Just remember, oh, I forgot to read the instructions. It told me right in the first line to cd into the name of your directory. I'll click so my cursor's on the command line. I'm going to type cd for change directories. Tap the space bar, type period, / I'll type Murphy-Concierge, tap Return. So now that we are in the project directory or the folder where the Astro files all live, well, now we can start the development server by going down to the command line, typing npm space run space dev, tap Return. And that should give you a local host address. There, you can see it right there. I'm just going to copy it. It's localhost / 4321 by default. I'm going to copy it to my clipboard and open up a web browser. I'll paste in the local host address, tap Return. Congratulations, you just built your first Astro website. That's right, this is a website. Doesn't get much easier than that, now does it? It is not necessary, but I just want to point out that there is an Astro extension in VS Code that will just give you some added functionality and just help you with some of the tooltips and other things. You can get to it by clicking on the 4 squares in the sidebar. Just do a search for Astro, and you can read about it and decide if you want to install it in the VS Code. Now, I'm not going to go over what everything is, but I'm just going to point out some of the main things to know. In the Astro builds, the public folder is where you put all the assets, images, and things that you want on your website, like favicons, etc. They go in the public folder. The SRC folder is where you build the Astro Pages. So if I twirl that open, you'll see there's an index page. This is like the main HTML page. This is just basic HTML. That's how you build web pages. Notice right here, the H1 tag or the header tag says Astro. Remember when we started the development server, Astro was on the main site. So if I were to change this from Astro, let's just say Mike Murphy, I'm going to save the file. I know it's not saved because of that white dot, so I'll press Command S, and now it's saved. When I go back to the developer server, guess what it's going to say? You guessed it, Mike Murphy. All pages end in .astro. So let's say that you want to build a contact page. Well, I can just right-click and choose New File. I'll call it contact.astro. It's empty. I'm just going to go back to index and copy everything and make sure you include that top section. That's kind of an important section in Astro. Command C. I'm just going to paste it just to give me a head start. I'll come down to the H1 tag and I'll call it Contact Mike. I see the white dot. That means I have unsaved changes, so I'll press Command S to save. Now let's jump back into the browser. So this is the home page. To go to the page, since we don't have a navigation menu yet, go to the top, put a / and then the name of the new page that you just created. So I'll type in contact, tap return. How about that? We have a second page. To go back to the home page, just erase the contact. We're now building a website. Moving down, package.json. Whenever you have a Node.js project, those hold the dependencies to run the project. And then the README, if I right click, open preview so it's easy to see. This is the Astro Starter Kit or the README, which is basically the cheat sheet. And because we selected the minimal theme or the minimal template, that is for this template. And just one thing I want to point out. We ran this main command, which is what you're always going to run. But you can actually install themes while you're doing that main command by just running this section right here. So we could have skipped the selection where we had to choose minimal and just installed it from the beginning. Or if you pick another theme, you can do so with this same type of format. So let's try to build this website, and I'm going to ask Codex to help me. So I have a folder of assets. I just downloaded this from the Murphy Concierge site. It just has images, some logos, text, etc. And I'm going to drag this entire folder into my Astro project folder in VS Code. Or I can just do it right here in the desktop. I can just locate the public folder. And I'm going to drag that assets folder right in there. And Codex will know what to do with it. My prompt to Codex is simple. Rebuild murphyconcierge.com as a one-page website. Do not copy anything from Divi or WordPress. This is an Astro website. And then I tell Codex that the assets are in the public folder. Here we can see Codex is adding the code. This is the HTML code on the index page. In 4 minutes, with a very simple prompt that just says, look at this website and rebuild it, with a couple images that I put in a folder, Codex rebuilt Murphy Concierge as a clean, responsive, one-page Astro website. Let's go check it out and see how Codex did. So the local dev server is still running. So I'll open up Chrome. Well, would you look at that? In about 5 minutes, Murphy Concierge has a new Astro website, and at first glance, I think it looks nice and clean. I've got a nice, easy way for people to contact me. There's a little navigation menu at the top. I'll click the services, see what happens. Okay, it drops me down into this section. Oh, I love the typography. It's nice and clean. The colors are nice. See what the next section, the Meet Mike section. Oh, I like this little treatment on the portrait. Very nice. We've got a testimonial. This looks awesome. And here's the footer area. Very simple. Another call to action. People can email me. It's got my location there. I think this is actually pretty slick for a one-shot, 5-minute website. If you want to stop the local dev server, so if you want to shut down the local host where you're previewing your Astro websites, go back into VS Code, down in the terminal, and I'm just going to press the Control key and tap the letter C. So Control C is going to stop the server. That's going to get you back to the command line. If we open up Chrome again, if I refresh that, you're going to see the site cannot be reached. To restart the local dev server, I'm going to go back to VS Code, to the terminal. I'm going to click on the command line, npm space run space dev. That's a command that you must commit to memory. I'll tap return. You get that local host address, which we don't really need because it's already in Chrome up here, localhost, and sure enough, the site loads. The recap. To build a website using the Astro framework, confirm that Node.js is installed on your computer. Create a new folder on your hard drive and give it a name. Open the project folder in VS Code. In VS Code, go to the bottom, click on the little triangle, and select Terminal. Open a web browser, go to astro.build. I highly encourage you to read the documentation. If you want to find a theme that you might want to use, click on Resources and choose Theme. Otherwise, for a basic install, you're going to go right in the center of the page and you're going to click to copy it to your clipboard. Go back to VS Code. Go down to the terminal. Click, paste, Command V, tap Return. You need to name your project folder. First, you're going to click a dot or a period. You're going to put a /, and then you're just going to type the name. So my Astro site, tap return, and just follow through with the wizard. What do you want to start with? You can try the basic just to see what it looks like. Let's keep it here. I'll tap return. Install dependencies, yes, tap return. I'm going to say no for this one, so I'll tap the right arrow and tap return. And now it's scaffolding or building the Astro project, which we can see right here. If you try to start the local dev server running the npm run dev and you get this big error message, that means that you didn't cd or change directories into your Astro project folder. So to do that, you're just going to type in cd, the name of your folder, tap return. Now you can start the server by running npm space run space dev. That should give you a URL for the local host. I'll copy it to my clipboard, open up Chrome or any browser, paste it, tap return. That is your new Astro website. That is the basic template. Looks a little bit different than the minimal, but that is an Astro website. And when you're in the Astro local dev environment, if you look at the very bottom, there's a little Astro widget. You can click around and find some things that go into the documentation. Now, you may or may not need this thing, but now you know it's there. Right now, Murphy Concierge is local on my computer only. When I'm ready to publish it and share it with the world, well, first I'm going to push all of the Astro code to GitHub, and then I'm going to deploy it on Cloudflare Pages, and I'll show you how to do that in the next tutorial. And that is how you build a new, free Astro website. All it takes is one simple command. My name is Mike Murphy, your AI handyman. Cheers.